All right. What up, y'all? Welcome to the Willamette Block Party, where we highlight all things melanin within the Willamette Valley. I am one of your hosts, the Raymond White, and I'm also here joined with.
Allie Saunders.
We're super excited to have this interview today as we get to learn quite a bit about a local community advocate, a community organizer, one who's spreading joy all across the state of Oregon, also has a green thumb, and more particularly helping navigate our prison industrial complex and the system and the people within it and providing them just the dignity and humility and worth that they are deserved. Yes, Juli-Ray Joy, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. So, hey, before we get started, Juli-Ray, what brings you joy?
Oh my gosh, so many things. Honestly, I'm kind of weird. I find joy in everything, bro. I'm like a little kid. I really find joy in like the mundane. I have a whole like kitchen full of like the little bobblehead dudes. Like, I mean, I really find joy in literally anything and everything. But really, I mean, right now, I think I'm finding joy most in just having a group of amazing women around me. I have like just rock stars around me, bro, and they are funny and they are just essential to my growth. And I think that's where I'm finding the most joy is just watching women win, just having just so many good people around me, watching community. I think in this moment in history, people are realizing they have to come together. Like being individualistic is not an option. And I think that's one of the things that's bringing me the most joy is just watching people who are like, I'm not doing that, doing that. And I think that's really exciting, and it's cool to watch. So I think just watching community come together is fire. Yeah.
But the bobblehead thing, though, you threw me off. I didn't know.
Yeah, they're not really bobbleheads. They're the little
Like the
I don't
Funko
know.
Pop situation.
Yeah, I got like tons. I just collect them. I don't even touch them. I don't even play with them. I collect black Barbies too. I don't touch them. I don't play with them. I just like if it makes me smile, I want it, and I want it around me. Like I can pull this off my desk. Like, why do I have a little corn? I don't know, because it brings me joy. So
I love that.
I don't know. If it's about my joy, I'm gonna find it.
You know what?
There we go.
You are unapologetic, and I love it. So thank you. That I needed to hear that today.
Yeah, be weird. Like what you like.
No, do you? I see you. All right. Dope. I just jumped right in. Allie, what's up with you? How are you doing today, Allie?
We're doing good. I actually was just hanging out with Juli-Ray. What was it, last week before? So she put on an amazing event called She Leads Here, which was kind of going into what she was just talking about of women empowerment and honoring, women of color just in the Willamette Valley and all throughout Oregon. It was such a fun event, and it was just amazing to see everybody kind of there and present and thriving all in the same room. Ray, you were not invited because you are.
Man, that's okay. I don't need to. Hey, okay. Yes, I got FOMO. Yes, I saw photos. But that's okay. I get it. That was the first of its kind, right? That you.
It was, yeah. This was our first one, and I don't think it's gonna be the last though. Like we had a blast, man. Miss Hannah, she is one of my favorites, and I don't know how old she is, and even if I did, I wouldn't put it online. But she is an elder in the community. I'll say that, and she was out there getting it. I mean, she was cane and all. Baby was getting it. We had the best time. And just to be able to honor folks for the amazing and hard work and tireless, thankless work that they do was really a blast. And also just, shout out to Allie because she did that thing. She made it look beautiful.
Yeah.
It was such a fun event. I can't wait for the next one. This has to be an annual thing of just, and this was the first year really of it. So we got like the awards names together, which are perfect, which were key, which were everything. These weren't your normal awards of like, okay, this is like the most volunteer hours or the most like, we did not go that way. We definitely went more of the cultural route.
Yeah, like what other award show are you going to where you're getting a Yonsei award? Like you're more than a triple threat. You're doing it all. You're Yonsei. Like we had the best awards. There's somebody, Belinda. She's so fantastic. Every event I go to, and I mean, honey, every event, and I'm around. So I'm talking, if I go to Washington, I turn around and I said, Belinda. Again, I go to Portland, Belinda. I'm at a protest, Belinda's there. And so we did the Where's Belinda award.
It's so perfect.
So like next year, our first year's awards are going to be presented to new people that embody that spirit. So this first year, if you got an award this year, they're going to stay with you. So we're just going to find new people in the community that embody your spirit. And so I'm really excited about that. So these people are going to stay honored, through new activists. And I love that.
Wow. I
Yeah.
appreciate
So
that.
amazing.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll post photos kind of during this, obviously, as we're kind of talking about this, post photos of what it kind of looked like and everybody that was there in attendance. It was a really great event. I mean, we need
Allie,
one that long.
if you post a picture of my stank face, I'm going to be mad too.
That's fine. Look, here's the thing. I'm notorious for posting the photo, so it might, maybe.
Look, look. If Ali got that phone up like this, y'all, you
I
better.
will post it. I
was doing a gang of that.
like every other one.
Listen, we were living in our moment, okay?
It was such a fun time. It was great. It was so much fun. The tears, everything. Even our DJs though, he was there. He was in the background, and I was like, "Are you okay?" He was like tearing up in the background while you were giving out the award. And he was just like, "I've just never seen anything like this." He was like, "It was very much needed." He's like, "I can't wait for next year." But he was over there like tearing up and like
I love
crying. I'm
it.
like, so it
You're
was
like,
amazing.
tighten up.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Never tighten up.
No, it was
brother.
just great.
I love it.
That's dope. Bringing community together in new ways, in joyful ways, in ways that honors who they are and what they do. What I appreciate, because like you started at the beginning of the podcast, while yes, Black Joy Oregon is part of your identity, the farming community in Kaiser, shout out to Kaiser, is part of your identity. Obviously, there are other things that you are focusing on that brings justice and brings community together, brings our dignity and humility together. So we'll link in the show notes your other interviews, your other areas where you are talking about Black Joy Oregon, because we don't want to gloss over that, because that is true, right? That's dope. And you're doing some phenomenal work there with the scholarships, with the mentorships, and all the things happening out there. But as you said, you got a job that pays the bills, and it's an important one. It's an important one that I think as a community, we may not necessarily, we aren't talking about, we're maybe talking about enough in certain areas, but like, I'm interested to know, what is your 9 to 5? What is your W-2?
Yeah, so what's on the W-2? I hear that. It's a very weird name, but I'm the Movement Building Director for Partnership for Safety and Justice and Safety and Justice Oregon. So there's a C4, which means political work, and then there's also a C3, which is kind of more, I do more facilitation and training on how to get involved in the legislative process through that arm. And then they also have me registered as a lobbyist. Essentially, we are the only, there are a lot of organizations. So I want to say this, there are a lot of other organizations that help with our work, and that have focused on this over time. Right. But as it sits right now, for the last 25 years, we are the only organization that is 100% dedicated to criminal justice reform. And we started out as Western Prison Project, and that was in kind of an attempt to, I'll say in a weird way, make a better box, right? Like, so we saw that people weren't being treated well in prison. There were weird prison conditions, those types of things. And then we kind of, as we became a Partnership for Safety and Justice, and we actually merged with another organization, we decided we didn't really want to make a better box. We had the data. We knew that Black and brown people, especially in Oregon, were targeted in a way that really doesn't make any sense. And so instead of building a better box and focusing on those aspects, we decided we want to close the boxes. So we've closed several prisons and kept several prisons from opening. And in one of those instances, we kept a women's prison from opening. And the way that we did that was we said, whoa, you don't need to open another prison. What we'd like you to do is actually funnel those funds into a project that gives community the resources to essentially handle these things on their own. So we know that culturally specific services work. We know that wraparound services work. We know that jail doesn't work. If jail worked, we'd be the safest country on the planet. And the reality of that is we are the most dangerous country on the planet to date. So And so they did that. The CJC, we went in and we created some legislation, and they ended up giving us a pretty good chunk of money. And then we went back and we looked at, I think we went back in, that was originally done in 2018. And then in 2023, we went back and we said, well, this is weird. None of this funding is getting to the people that need it the most. And so we had to then implement another piece of legislation, which was the Justice Reinvestment and Equity Project, or excuse me, program. And so that program really focused on culturally specific services. So out of hundreds of organizations, 18 organizations, I believe, got about $10 million. And since then, they have saved the state an exponential amount of money. And these are programs like Love is Stronger up in Portland doing gun violence prevention. These are programs like Red Lodge that are providing, indigenous folks with indigenous women, well, now they have a men's program too because of JRIB. But providing them a way to do addiction services through the lens of indigenous healing. So there's all of these programs. There's Constructing Hope, who's they've given out they've licensed 625 construction professionals since their opening in 2015. And just last year in 2025, I believe they did like 85 construction professionals. And these are folks that are coming from the prison system with really no promise of, a professional union, great middle class job, that are certified and ready to work. And these are good paying jobs, right? So they're going straight from prison to the middle class. And so we're seeing like this amazing work in reentry and diversion through these programs. And it's kind of weird because it costs the state of Oregon roughly around $67,000 to incarcerate one person. One, right? If I look at, there's a program, baby, and that's just to incarcerate them. So we're not even talking about the court process. We're not talking about a person who may be medically fragile or needs mental health care, which most people do. So when we're thinking about this dollar amount, there's a program working called Life Art. They're taking kids before they get to the adult system, right? And they're at a cost per kid of $1,500.
Wow.
Right? So think about that. 67,000 in comparison to $1,500. And that kid is, that man is like picking him up, taking him to soccer practice, calling him on the phone. So if he catches that kid out at midnight, he's pulling up, right? This is care.
And that's all inclusive too. Would that be for that 1,500 be inclusive of all of those items, or would it be normally a range between 1,500 to X amount?
That's what they get. So that's within the amount of funds that particular organization received. So we're talking about, really a nominal investment, and the return on investment is crazy. And so when we went to go get these same funds in last session, we went for the same, which was 10 million. We didn't get it. And there wasn't really a conversation about it. We thought we had it. Everything was going good. We had everybody had our back, or so we thought. And so we're back this short session trying to get 4.3 million, which is just enough to get these organizations through the end of the biennium and to let us live to fight another day, right? And so it's a really interesting time in the legislature.
What is it? So the reason you guys came back in with the lower amount was because you weren't approved for the 10 million?
I think the reason we came back, I think we talked to a couple people within the legislature, and I think with the budget HR 1 it has caused just a tremendous amount of of a budgetary crisis within our state. Luckily, we've kind of recovered some funds. I think if people are doing the tax code break on some of the things, the federal tax code breaks, I think we'll see an influx, but we're still going to be at a deficit. But I think that was part of it. I think another part of it was, if I'm being honest, which I'm going to do at all times.
Always.
I think people were scared. I think Trump was coming back into office. People were seeing a lot of the words that were, to be funded and not to be, whatever. And I think people responded to that.
Mhm.
And we're hoping in this short session that people will really see the value of what not only these folks do, but, and honestly, I think an expansion of these programs is necessary, especially in a budget. In a budget like ours,
Right.
because you're going to pay for it. You're gonna pay one way or the other. You can either pay to jail people and treat them unfairly and unkindly, and also do something that doesn't work,
Mhm.
or you can pay a nominal price,
Right.
far less, and get a better quality result. And I know where I'd put my money.
Right. I mean, it just makes sense overall. The math is mathing in that regards, where I'm like, okay, pay more and have them do the same crime, same thing, and them getting worse, or actually pay less and it's helping them become one better human beings. It's helping them mentally and physically. Like it makes sense just
But is
overall.
the math mathing though? Because
Yeah,
Mm,
as a community, I hear those numbers and I'm
yeah,
like, that makes sense. But
yeah,
yet we still are putting a lot more investment in the not even the
yeah,
intervention side, but just like the obviously the prison industrial complex, like you
mhm,
the lock them up, the language that it really
yeah.
gears towards this is the only way that this work happens. And
Hmm.
so it's just and you're shedding a light on a lot of the programs and activities that are happening. And again, with your role as a lobbyist, you are aware of here are all the ways within the spectrum of supporting somebody who are going through the system, preventative and restorative,
Hmm.
that we're helping support. Like you said, math is mathing, but it doesn't seem like as a community where are we rallying around the right thing and
No.
barriers? Yeah, tell me more.
Yeah, no. I think we are in a weird moment. I think not enough people think about criminal justice and everything that it touches. So if people don't really understand that once a person goes to jail, even if it's like a low level crime, right? It takes 45 days to lose everything you have. That's it. So if you've got a house, a job, a car, all of those things are gone within a 45-day sentence.
mhm,
So now we're using housing services, perhaps, if you have no charge. If you do and you have no family, good luck to you. Um,
right.
good luck to you. Now you've lost if you have a car loan or something like that and nobody is able to pay that for you while you're inside, now you've lost your vehicle. Now you've lost your job, right? And now you have a record. So
Mm,
finding a new job is going to be very difficult for you. So now we're using food banks. Now we're using food services. Perhaps if you have children, you're using food stamps. So as we like, people don't really notice the intersectionality between the prison industrial complex and everything that it touches. So let's say you do have a great family who's going to support you. You made a mistake. We love it. Now your family is paying for an attorney if they don't want you to wait. And in Oregon, there is a wait because we are behind. We do not have enough public defenders, so you will wait. So maybe you do have a family that has the money. So now your family is forking out money they did not anticipate. So now your savings is gone. If you had a savings to begin with, or you just pulled it together out of wherever you could get it. So now you owe money here, there, and everywhere, right? You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. So now you're working on that. You've got bail. So now you've paid bail. Maybe you're at home, maybe you're not, but you can't work. You can't, or maybe you can, or you're on house arrest, or you're on,
mhm,
so, and you've got to pay for that too, by the way. So you've got to pay for that. If you're still in jail, you're paying quite a bit to communicate with your loved one.
right.
You're paying quite a bit for your loved one to eat like a normal person. You're paying quite a bit for your loved one to have shoes, to have things that make sense. They're also not really paying for medical care
Mhm,
within. So also, if you go to jail and you're on OHP, let's say, or you're on food stamps or you're on any type of assistance, all of that shuts off the second you go to jail.
wow.
So if you're an addict, let's say you need treatment, now you've got to reestablish your OHP, right? So all of these things, like people don't really
Yeah.
recognize how wild it is. People also don't recognize the level of free labor that the state of Oregon receives, right?
Mhm,
I think people oftentimes are like, well, yeah, they should have a job. They should be doing those things. And don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're going to spend your time somewhere and you have child support or whatever you have, sure, have them work. But the problem is, you're not making a wage that makes any sense. You're making far less than you should be to do some of the most crazy jobs. They're
Right.
fighting fires,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're like, "Oh, good job, but we're not letting you out. Love that for you. Good luck."
Right.
Thank you for saving us. Also,
Yeah, thank you for saving us, but also,
right.
for the Oregon State Hospital, people don't realize that they do all of the maintenance. They do all of the laundry. They do most of the cooking. Juveniles do all of the state park bathroom cleaning. They have, so the OSU Master Growers Program, which I love, by the way. But honey, when I was a juvenile, I was hoeing those rows. Okay. So so I, I know for a fact, a lot of the things that get
Yeah.
started, all the highway work, right? All the highway cleanup. So if Oregon was to be fair and pay people, we would find ourselves, it'd be a problem,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
right?
I think people just see it as like, okay, they're going away and that's it. Like, okay, they're going there that there's no other list of expenses or requirements for those
Yeah.
individuals who are going away and also don't realize how they are actually still contributing to, the rest of society without getting paid for it or being paid like 5 cents like
Yeah.
on the $10,
It's terrible.
like kind of, yeah.
Yeah. And they also have contracts with, like, you think you're calling some customer service somewhere, you're calling a prison.
Wow.
You are calling a jail. And so there's like so much that people really don't understand about what's happening. And Oregon is one of the only places that don't have a technical for-profit prison system. But I assure you, Oregon is profiting, and so, I think it's just one of those things where people just have it in their mind that, like, do bad, go away, right?
Mhm.
And they don't understand that doesn't work. You just teach people how to be better criminals when you stick them around, like you just teach people how to be better offenders. If I'm
Right.
around, if all I'm around is really great offenders, I'm going to come
I
out
mean,
knowing
you're
a whole lot more than I would.
right. Comes to like the education of this. Obviously, I don't think the common citizen is going to be knowing, these items and actually like where it applies. How have you guys been
Yeah.
kind of assisting, I guess, when it comes to that for like the common citizen?
Yeah, so I actually started something called Activist Academy, where we kind of teach people how to go to legislature. We teach people about these issues. One of the things I'm starting now is exactly what we're doing here today. Is I'm going to places like your podcast. I'm going to places like KMU's, where the average person, the average listener, who wouldn't know about things like this, like
Mhm.
if I was sitting around listening and I was like, wait, all they need is $4.3 million to save us.
Mhm.
Just one program has the potential to save us 16.9 million. And that's life.
Mhm.
That's the life art when I was
Right.
talking about with youth, and to keep youth from becoming adult offenders.
Yes.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, I would go, yeah, put my money there. Right. And so part of it is like, just building and can't talk today. Building an expansive education kind of platform where I'm just kind of telling everybody how this really works and why the system that we have in place right now is not working. And that we do have data. We do know
Yeah.
that things don't work. And here's the other thing about, offenders, unfortunately, is people are going to move with their emotions more than they are going, because they're like, I was offended against, and this is the only solution. And I think that's the
Mhm.
problem, is we haven't given folks another solution. Because I'll tell you what, I have had crimes perpetrated against me for sure. And the why of it all, and and I'll tell you what, I would rather know that I'm getting services, that person is getting services,
Mhm.
and has the potential to be their best self, than ever see them spend a day in jail.
Yeah.
And I think that's the work that we need to do, that heart and mind work, where people
Mhm.
understand that people don't just wake up and go, I want to be a piece of today. Like, people don't want to be, like, no one wants to be outside of the
Yeah.
community. Nobody.
You made a that was a the idea of supporting all sides. I'm not going to say both
Hmm.
sides, but anyone involved, right? And I know there's an element of restorative justice that leads to
Hmm.
that of it's not just the one who is committing, but also the one who has been offended,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
that level of healing that takes place in that. And I know that again, there's certain circles where that is an emphasis, but if we look at the current state of our society, we don't. There's not necessarily space for that too, which can make sense for the offender to pretty much say, "Yep, hey, take care of them," because that is my
Yeah.
sense of justice. Where in actuality, it's like, okay, but there's some inner work that you got to work through too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
even see that
Yeah.
other person with dignity and worth, right? Which to that end, are the services that you are lobbying for or connected to what are the ways that they are working to help support individuals who are offended in that way? Like what are some
Yeah.
examples?
Mm.
So some of the programs that we offer are some of the, I don't, well, I shouldn't say I offer them, but that are in the JREP grantee umbrella. They do offer victim services and Partnership for Safety and Justice. I think what makes us a little bit different from other criminal justice advocacy groups is we also fight for victim services funding.
Hmm.
So we understand that there is a link. And I think people also have to understand, there is an offender like victim status too. And I think
Yeah.
that's one thing we have to pay attention to as well is like, again, people don't go into offending others because it's great and because it's a
Hmm.
good time, right? A lot of people were traumatized first and offended second. And so we have to really pay attention to that as well. I mean, that's, a lot of our JREP grantees focus on that because we know like somebody hurt you and then you went out and you hurt somebody. And so that's a lot of the focus. But PSJ absolutely focuses on getting funding into victim services. We've done that for a very long time. And I think that's the component that people often don't look at as well is if all victims have is this mechanism, if all I have is to put you in jail, I want you there forever, right? Like if that's all I get, I want you there forever. And
Yeah.
I am going to advocate for that. But if I know that I'm getting well and you're getting well, I have services available to me and so do you. There's actually an amazing program that we really look to for inspiration, led by Daniel Sered out of New York. And they work with the worst of the worst crimes,
Mhm.
like, I mean, hard. And they offer the person who's been offended against the opportunity and they get to say yes or no, right?
Mm.
And then they put those folks together and they say, well, what will restore you? What will put it back? Sometimes it's financial. Sometimes it's, I need to know why you did this. Sometimes, and a lot of the time that's what it is. I need to know the why, right? I need to know that you're gonna go get help for this and that you're also, what you did, right? And that program has been so successful. We have something like that here in Oregon as well. His name is Stephen Fowler. I can't remember the name of the program right off the top of my head, but it's a fantastic program and they're doing the same thing and having fantastic results. And I think more people just need to know about what services are available. They need to be expanded and they need to be, honestly, a lot of them need to be culturally specific. They need to be
Yeah.
led by the communities that, where the offense takes place. Nobody can tell me, like, let me tell you something. My grandma could snap me up like this. Okay. Snatch me right up.
Mm,
Right. Nobody
mhm.
can love on me like my community. Nobody can gather
Yeah.
me together like the people that know me and that know my struggle, right? And I think we can't forget about that when we're talking about folks.
Such good information. It all because it makes sense. I think like when people really delve into it, but I do think it's a topic that people don't want to discuss. I think it's a sensitive topic where they also don't want to some degree, also be held accountable for some of the decisions that they're being made and being like, hey, like you are part of the reason why we are spending, more, and not the people who are in it, but this is just a common, again, individuals within the community and not completely understanding like, hey, the decisions you're making are actually in a way full circle also affecting you. But I do love what you guys are doing with the victims as well, because that was I had no idea also about, because that is a thing that people will bring up is, okay, for the people who have been offended, how are we assisting them? What are we doing towards like, assisting towards mental health, physical health, financially, kind of what's going towards that. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a lot to process. It is. But again, I think people avoid it. I think people do take that step away where it's like,
Yeah.
do I really have to do anything towards it? Is it impacting my current life, like right now, from what I see and what I do on a daily basis? Does it affect it? And it probably doesn't, which is why they avoid it.
Yeah, I think another reason people avoid it, I mean, it's uncomfortable. I mean, in this
Hmm.
role, I've really had to. There's some stuff where they've been like, "Okay, we're gonna advocate for this," and I'm like, "Not me." You know what I mean? Like, because I have had stuff happen to me that's like
Yeah,
really like it's hard. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
There's one of our JREP grantees because I've gone to almost all of the sites for the people that are grantees because I want to know your work when I talk about your work, right? And there was one I went to and they were doing like domestic violence classes for young men. And I
Hmm.
remember being like, I know these people didn't send me into this classroom. Like, because
Hmm.
I've experienced domestic violence and in my mind, I'm like, you can't fix that. Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm like the biggest advocate for all this. I don't care. I've worked in the prison. I've worked at Oregon State Hospital, hung out with murderers, honey. Like I do not care. Right. But for some reason that in particular, really, I struggled with that concept. And then I sat in their classroom and I saw the work that they were doing. And I talked to the young men and I was like, I was just moved.
Hmm.
And I think that it was really, I mean, it was difficult for me because at first I was like, mm-hmm,
Mm.
right. Tell me again how you're, and I mean, I had to challenge myself. I really had to go in my head. I was like, no,
Hmm.
listen, like you advocate, you advocate for this girl. You better calm down. And then when I really saw the work that they were doing and I saw the impact to not only them, but their children,
Well,
their partners, and that they were back in their home being good fathers. They were back in their home being good partners. See, I'm like tearing up.
no.
Like I had to get over the fact that like maybe what happened to me I can't put that lens on
Yeah.
every other person that's in this situation. And I think,
Right.
and that was like, I mean, that one was one of the hardest ones for me, but it was, just seeing how eager they were to be in this space and to get the opportunity to learn to do something different. And then you were hearing about their backgrounds and you're like, well, no wonder, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was something, and I think that's why people don't want to talk about it because
Absolutely.
we have so many people that have gone through trauma and that have gone through these things. And it's hard to go to check yourself and be like, my situation is maybe not this situation.
You're
Maybe this
asking people
person,
to take accountability? You're
you
asking
know,
people to look into themselves?
Listen,
What?
I know it's a tough one. It's a toughie. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's rough, but I think that's really what it is. Is people but you'll hear that too because you'll hear like at legislative meetings, especially on the other side of the aisle, you will hear them bring up like I call it trauma porn. It is the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. Right? It's like we're hearing it right now with like the ICE stuff and like, well, what about Lake and Riley? Baby, yes, that was horrible. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, but is that a reason to terrorize an entire country? I don't know, right? So I think it's like that same like manifestation of like this one terrible thing happened and now everybody's got to suffer. And I think that
Right.
like it does take a little bit of accountability to go, well, yes, and
Yes, it is.
yeah, yeah,
100%.
Yeah, and it's always going to be that. It's not as nuanced as just like, okay, it's just X, Y, and Z. It is always going to be way more complicated than that. And again, I agree with you. Why people they don't want to talk about it. It's just
yeah.
easier, especially I think in Oregon. It is definitely a thing of, "Oh, we're just going to slide it under that rug real quick and not acknowledge it."
Yeah, I think it's weird too, for we are hyper progressive, but that very rarely leads to meaningful change.
Mhm.
And that's unfortunate, I
Oh,
think we have a lot of progressivism and not a lot of balls, if you don't mind me saying so.
Like I started this conversation, I'm really hyped. So it was like joy, and then we got deep. Then I got frustrated, and then in my frustration, you highlighted solutions or ways
Yeah.
in which that people could engage with it.
Yes.
And one of the ways that you stated was education, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. But I'm also an individual where if I hear so many educational opportunities, I get overwhelmed, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
mhm.
well, damn, okay,
Yeah.
what do I do? Or what
Yeah.
what can I do? Right. And then last I'm sorry, you're going through my rabbit hole. So then you talk about, okay, if I do choose to engage, there's still a lot of things I need to check at the door so that it doesn't impede the work that's happening, right? My own biases, my own things like that. Like is to say that one person's trauma is better than another, but understanding the context and the situation. All that to say, the overwhelm piece is where I'm at currently because
Yeah.
I want to do something. I don't want
Yeah.
to avoid. I
Yeah.
want to be
Right.
engaged, and education is one way. What are the other ways then that a person who's listening to this be like, this is tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, can I just say you're in a beautiful place, I think. I think that sense of overwhelm is very common in this sphere and in all racial justice work is like you're like, it's big, right? It's really big. And I think Allie hit on something that was there's a lot of nuance to everything. So I think the first step is just take a breath. And the fact that you even have interest, or that you care, I think is a great sign. If you wanna do something right now and you care about the programs that I was talking about, we are in the middle of a short session. One of the things that you can do is write to your legislator. It's a very simple process. You can go to Find My Legislator. That's available, on, the Oregon Legislative website or OLIS, and you can just simply write them a quick email and say, hey, the Justice Reinvestment Equity Program should be refunded at $4.3 million. I think it's really important that we take care of people. And, so if that's one way you can do it right now. If you're open to learning more, you can just go to PSJ, Partnership for Safety and Justice, our website, and you can sign up for our newsletters. And we provide learning opportunities all the time. We actually have one coming up tomorrow, and we do them on all kinds of things. We passed a Senate bill to get folks off of probation and parole. Within the last 2 years, we've gotten like 10,000 people off probation and parole. And so you can kind of find out about what we do and where you want to, you can get in where you fit in, And I think, and as you go through that process of learning more, it's a ride, it's a roller coaster. But I think, again, just take a breath, figure out what you're interested in. There's so many different avenues to go down when you're talking about criminal justice and the intersections of criminal justice. And so, whatever tickles your fancy, man, we can get you into it over there at
Get
PSJ.
in it.
So,
I
yeah,
love it.
we
Take a
gotcha.
breath and hold on for the roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I love that you said that because it is like you hear like even in this short time, like you're like, shit, there's a lot going on. You know what I mean? Or
Real though.
excuse me, shoot, there's a lot going on. I know. I really got to stop cussing.
It really sounds like a roller coaster where it's like, but here's the thing though, after the roller coaster, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. This is everything that happened. Let's get on again.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you get a good dub in the legislature, you're hooked.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you get one good win, and you're there.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go. Run it back.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, okay, roller coaster again. Here we
There
go.
we go. Yeah.
You stated something about, and this goes back to the JREP funding. You're receiving this funding from our legislators. You're giving it right back out to these programs. I don't know if we've talked about how you've rattled off a bunch of programs, but how many
Mhm.
programs are there that receive this type of funding?
Yeah, so CJC, the initial program, who God even knows how many programs they support, because they give it out to every county.
Wow.
Mm.
But then we had to go back, remember, because we were like, how come this isn't going to any folks? And so ours currently goes the equity program funding goes to 18 different programs throughout the state.
Amazing.
Yeah.
18 programs. And these are programs that you found or they found you?
No, these are programs actually that were found through Northwest Health Foundation because the first iteration of the funding, it made it clear to us that maybe folks weren't in the position to or in community with these programs. Northwest Health Foundation was put in a position to find, and they went through hundreds of applications, and these were the ones that kind of rose to the top. And so Northwest Health Foundation has been working in community funding for quite some time. They've been in philanthropy for quite some time, and they had the relationships with culturally specific organizations to make that ask and to make that happen. And so it kind of goes from, it's kind of a weird thing, but it goes from CJC, it goes from the Criminal Justice Commission to Northwest Health Foundation. And then what's even better is Northwest Health Foundation also provides, because a lot of these orgs are really small. They're kind of like Black Joy, right? Where we just started with like a hope and $5. So we didn't know what we were doing. And so like they've provided technical assistance. They've shown them how to use QuickBooks, and like, so they've really actually helped shape them, more into nonprofits and help them expand as well. It's more than just the money. It's also, business technical assistance and anything they may need. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much information. This is amazing. This is
Right?
so okay. I know Ray kind of asked, like obviously where we can go to gain like kind of more information or to start. Where would you suggest, or like who to reach out? Would it be like you, or would it be someone else to kind of just touch base and say like, hey, here are my questions,
Yeah, I'm your girl. I'm your girl. You can honestly, you can message me about anything. People message me about the oddest things and I take it. You can message me about how to protest, you can message me about how to do this work, you can message me about legislation. If you have questions and this is of interest to you, we need more people that care about this. So tap in, Juli-Ray at safetyandjustice.org. Tap in, and I'm happy to answer any question you may have. Yeah, I love leading people to this work, and I love educating people. I have trainings on it. So if you're not sure how to get involved legislatively, I can teach you how to do that. If you have an org and you're like, how do I get my org involved? Get at me.
Okay.
Never.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Here's
Alex, no, stop. Okay, everyone's. I might. It's not a big question. It's not a big question. I already asked my big question.
is.
But Julie-Ray, you said something specific there of like you love to lead people, you love to help these
Yeah.
organizations to get active in this work. That's not something you just wake up and say, you know what, today's the day. I'm gonna start leading people to do this work. If you were to pinpoint a time when you were like, I need to do this. This is why. This is my why that I'm engaged into this work. What was that moment for you?
I mean, I've always kind of done, I got started in the labor movement. I've been an organizer for a long time. And then I started Black Joy. So I've been community organizing. I've always been a little weird. Like, I've always been I've been like that. I was weird in high school and put up little posters trying to get people involved and stuff. I don't really know. I think with this work, I can pinpoint, it's not the moment I knew I needed to do this work, but I think it was the moment when I got this job description came across my desk. I remembered that moment and I was like, okay, yeah. I was really little, and I was in North Carolina. I was living with my dad. And at the time, my dad was really struggling with addiction. And he had gotten picked up. And he had no ID. And the only thing that could get him out of jail was this yearbook. And it also happened to be the only thing that had both a picture of my mother and a picture of him. And so I had taken it to school for show and tell because I wanted to show people a picture of my mother and my dad, right? And I got in so much trouble because I didn't really ask to take, I didn't really ask to take it. And so my dad had to stay in jail overnight because I had this damn yearbook. And so when I saw this, I really witnessed my dad go through a lot. I went through a lot. I spent many a night in juvenile detention here in Salem. And, for me, no one ever asked me why. Not one person. As a child, they were like, no one was like, why are you running away? It was just like,
Mm.
you're bad. You did something wrong. And no one ever really asked the question. And I was living in hell, right? And so when I was working at SEIU and I was an organizer and I saw this job description and really I was supposed to pass it to people. And I was like, somebody made a job for me. Oh my God. And I didn't send it to anybody. Not one person. And I called my friend Emily and I said, Emily, you have to help me with my resume. I don't think I'm going to get it, but I have to try. Like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
And sure as shooting, I got it. And I've been doing it for the last 5 years.
Did you
Yeah.
just say sure as shooting?
Sure as shooting. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like, I am from North Carolina, brother. Like,
Well, I'm glad you said that because I was trying to figure out. I'm like, all right.
I'm like, you're lucky I haven't said any weirder ones on this podcast so far.
We got Texas on the line. I'm from California, and you from North Carolina. All right, so transplanting. We out here.
Oh my God.
See, that wasn't that big.
I love that you just never even took it to anybody else. You said, this is mine. Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, here's the thing, I could, but that would give me more competition. I'm not going to do that.
We're not doing it. He said, oh my gosh, thank you for creating it specifically for me.
I really read it and was like, wait, yes. And it was like at the height of 2020 as well. So, it was like, I'm getting Black and brown people out of jail. Yes, I'll do that.
I love that.
That's dope.
Yeah, that was a great question. Thank you.
Yeah, you can't.
I haven't thought about that.
Yes, I'm intrigued by that. I could ask more big questions, but Allie get mad at me. Allie, you want to?
I do not get mad. It's more of the timing because he'll ask when you're just like having like joking around about something, and he's like, "So what do you think of that night before you go? Like, what are you thinking about life or death?" And ask some real big philosophical question, and then you're like, "We were just talking about movies, or we were just talking about note taking."
We were talking about yeah.
Raymond, I like it. Do you have a touch of ADHD? Because those are my kind of questions.
Don't diagnose me. Don't diagnose me.
No, I'm asking because I have it, and those are the type of questions I ask. We'll be having a conversation about absolutely nothing. I'll be like, yeah, what happened to that one thing that's very super important that we shouldn't be talking about right now? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I've been working on it, but when you get the mic on me, I'm like, all right, now now's the time.
Always.
I love it. I'm here for it.
It's what makes you you.
Thank you.
The greatest part of you. There's this time when I do get something like that. I'll be like, I don't know.
She literally was like, I don't know, bro. I'm like,
I'm here.
We'll circle back on it. Don't worry about it. Just now it's lodged. All right. I was about to go to another question. I was going to be a lighthearted question just about. Okay. All right. Back to the joy.
Throw it on me, Raymond. Throw it on me.
No, because you are dealing with some heavy stuff. You are working with some heavy things. The Funko Pops is a joyous thing that you do.
Yeah.
I know you keep saying you do these weird things, but that's you. You doing you things, right? Let's highlight you for a minute. If you were last time we was talking about Black movies or just movies in general, culturally specific movies. We're not going to, culturally specific movies. Is there one that you frequently go to as like, this is my movie? Like I'm fully just chill when I watch this movie. Like this gives me joy. This gives me excitement when I watch it.
Yeah, I watch a lot of dang movies. If I were to say it, Eddie Murphy Raw, honey, I could watch that every day. I could watch it every day.
Love it.
Anything I could watch, like honestly, old is an early 90s like black comedy.
Yeah.
Take me away, Calgon. If I'm in a bad mood, that's what I'm watching. That's what I need. I need foolishness. Just utter foolishness. Yeah. I also really like Amanda Seales. She does her comedy also just hits. Yeah, it hits. I'll just watch like good old black comedy. Yeah.
That's good.
Me and Julie were just talking the other day about Bridgerton, though. Look.
But I won't listen. I mess with Bridgerton. Actually, you know what, Allie? My children, I don't shop at Walmart, but my children, I haven't shopped at Walmart in like I don't know how many years. I can't even count it because Walmart people scare me. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
But I haven't shopped at Walmart for a very long time. Well, I should say Lancaster Walmart people scare me. But
No,
anyways,
specific.
it's very specific. Very specific. I was like, there is no reason I should be smelling meth and bad decisions. I've got to get out of here. But so I was there because my daughters made me go in there and seeing these Bridgerton things, and I almost got them first, but then I forgot that I don't spend my money at Walmart, and so I shouldn't be mean. I was just joking about the people at Walmart.
Yeah, you're good.
I really don't shop at Walmart because they're on my boycott list, but it
Yes,
is scary
yes,
over there.
Yes.
But saw these cute little Bridgerton cups, and like
Oh,
they had these little book things where you could put it like in your book and wear
oh,
it like a pocketbook.
I've seen those. They're so cute. We keep saying we're like, okay, we're gonna do a watch party for the second session or the second part of season, whatever we're on.
We are.
It's
Why
gonna be
would
so
we
much
not?
fun.
Look,
That's
I
so much.
stopped after they did the special with the Queen.
You
That kind of
stopping all the way
reminds me.
back there?
Yeah,
I need you to come
You
on
gotta
back
catch
in,
up.
Raymond.
Catch up.
because like I remember. Wait, what happened? We now know who Lady Whistledown is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't say it for the viewers just in case they need to watch it.
I
Don't
mean,
say
by
it.
now you should know. It was like 20 years ago that it came out.
20?
It came out a long time ago. My bad.
Now
Okay.
don't do
Maybe
them like that.
5.
No, now listen, they were playing with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
timeline with the release date, but 20 years, don't
Mhm.
play with them like
Okay, my
that.
bad.
Yes, we will be having a Bridgerton party.
There you go. Don't get your things from Walmart.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Raymond. You
Oh,
can
I
come
go to
Thank
that.
too.
you.
I can
You
go
can
to
come
that.
too. You can get
I
caught
come to
up.
that. Thank you. Yes. All
Because
right.
Raise
actually,
allowed.
you're not. You tried to act like you were behind, but it sounds like you just watched the last season.
I know. He knows what's going on. Look,
I just know that one season just came out. All I know. I don't know I forgot what's happening. I got to watch the recap.
Oh,
and-
you're caught up, Raymond.
he's gonna be at the watch party and be like, oh, like I knew he was gonna do. I'm like, so you
Yeah.
did watch it. You do.
Knew it.
You caught up.
Something tells me you know exactly what's going on.
He
Yeah.
knows the names and everything. He knows everyone by name.
I don't know.
Everybody.
I'm just mad. Look, I'm just mad because season 1, the brother in season 1, that was my dude. Like I was like, yo,
Right.
Which brother?
the only brother in season 1. The
Oh,
main
are you-
love
You
dude.
know the one. You
No.
know the
I know
one.
he didn't come back. He didn't come
Oh.
back after season 1.
He didn't.
That was it.
I was mad.
No,
Now he's like
he
in
didn't come back.
Tuscany or something in that new movie. So
That-
anyway,
gosh.
I know.
Not in
I'm a
Tuscany.
fool. I'm a fool. I'm sorry.
With the other Hallie.
That had nothing to do with nothing. Had
He's
nothing.
in Tuscany.
Yeah, you mean Tuscany? That movie. You don't talk about. Don't play. You
What
don't talk-
movies are you watching? Are you choosing these?
First of all, that is a preview that shows up on the TV screen.
But you finished the preview. You didn't click to something else.
I can't because
Listen, Raymond, I appreciate the character follow up.
Yes.
Yeah, you know
Yes.
what? I needed to know that he went to Tuscany because I've
He's
been
in
wondering
Tuscany.
myself, where you at?
He in the new decade. He in the new,
Yep.
he in the new period.
Golly.
Now
Got a
he,
new boo.
he got a new boo, right?
Mhm.
It's the whole thing. Me Tuscany. You know, it ain't out yet, but it's coming out.
See,
Anyway,
now
What
now you got
date?
me over
What-
here taking
what-
notes.
Hey, do you know the date of when that movie is released?
I can let you know. It's not part of Shondaland though, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you can get invested, but
I
Not
mean,
as Shonda hasn't
not for
made it.
nothing, but I don't care if it's from Shonda or not. That man was something else. I'm gonna watch it.
April 10th. April 10th is the release.
Where
date.
is Aaron Pierre at then? Do you know where he's at?
Aaron Pierre? Who that?
He would voice was it Mufasa in The Lion King? Who did he voice in Lion King?
I think he's busy getting
Aaron
broke up
Pierre.
with.
That's Mufasa.
No.
Yeah,
are they
girl.
breaking up?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what
Yeah,
happened?
him and the Rose from the Bronx is over.
They were gonna like survive a while. I didn't know that was gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I
That's
think
sad.
he's taking some time.
As he should.
As
That's what
he
they
should.
always say. Yeah, that's what Michael B. Jordan said after. What's her name?
Taking some time to
Stop
recover.
making time.
Michael
From-
B.
Where
Jordan
Alex?
had a lot going on.
Listen, if I lost a pair of abs like that, I'm gonna go take me some time as well.
some
I'm
time.
gonna go be sad, but I'm gonna go cry about it.
You know, over a pint
It's
of
been enough time.
ice cream. He's in Goat, if you need to know, but is the anime is
Go. Oh yeah.
It's dope. But if you want to see him live, his body,
Mm-hmm.
the show
Yeah.
Lanterns. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's
Mm,
supposed to come out on like is it HBO
see,
or is
look.
Why
it?
are you all mentioning stuff that's not even out yet?
I'm sorry. Oh, that's
I
Green
need
Lantern
stuff that's
Lanterns.
Y'all
That's
are
like the
hurting
Green
my
Lantern.
Is it
feelings.
actually the Green Lantern
Snap, I
series?
might watch that. Yeah, that's legit.
He just
Green
wants to watch it.
Lantern, like the superhero?
Yeah,
Really?
I'm all about the superheroes.
So speaking about joy, Marvel,
Yes.
yes.
Did
DC I could do without, but
you see Wonder Man yet?
no,
You haven't.
I haven't
I
seen
liked it a
yet.
lot. I liked it a lot. I did some deep dives. I know this is nowhere near. Again, another thing Allie doesn't like. We deep dive in all the things. So
It's fine.
Marvel
Okay,
is
I'm here.
obviously they're moving away from the quick hits,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to now like actual character development type of shows.
So glad.
Wonder Man is one of them, and it's like I thoroughly enjoyed it because it's more than just him as a superhero. So if you
Okay.
watch it, it's a dope one.
Have you been watching The Boys or the follow up to The Boys? Very gory, but
Yes.
very good.
I haven't
It's
yet.
giving this administration. It's
It's giving this
very
is what it would be like.
That's probably why I didn't watch it because I'm like, it's too close.
No, it's so good though. It's like it
It's-
is because you're like nothing is happening in real life the way that it should, but you're like at least I can watch this show and your head's gonna explode. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
cathartic.
Interesting.
You said I feel better.
I'll keep that in mind.
Did you watch what is it, the prequel series that it had?
Yeah,
Is it the young
of
one? Is it a
course they
prequel
did.
or isn't it the
Can't believe you questioned her.
You're talking about the one about the kids, the university?
Yes, yeah, with the kids. Uh-huh.
Yes.
I haven't started that one yet. Yeah.
That one is, I will warn you off the top, weird. It's a little weird. So it's gorier, but it's
Mhm.
also like their superpowers are strange. Like, yeah, you'll just have to.
There's already strange ones in the boys.
No.
How much further? I'm not gonna mention it, but there are some weird ones on the
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, this gets even weirder
Really?
and cooler. Yeah.
I'll text you the one I'm talking about specifically.
It gets weirder and way cooler, dude. Yeah.
I'll have to put it on my list.
I'm like, now I got to do a rewatch because it's so much
Watch
cooler.
parties. It's the series we're doing watch parties.
So here we are with the Willamette Block Party watch party.
Yeah, there we go.
Our reaction to
adding-
the movie.
We're adding to all the segments. We're
Absolutely.
gonna have a whole
Always.
channel that just talks about all the shows that we are watching and why,
Yeah.
because we have time for that.
Why
Hey.
not?
We're just tacking onto this. Allie, if you keep this going, I'll find more questions.
I literally was just about to try and wrap it up. I feel like I need to do like a stop, like I don't know, a signal, a word. What if I say Bridgerton? That means you have to stop.
Oh, I
Nick
was
Mason, too.
gonna say pineapple, but that sounds more like a safe word.
That's a safe word. I'll say Aaron Pierre or Michael B. Jordan. Or it'll be one of 5 men. If I say their name, then
If you say a man's name, then I'm just gonna be like, well,
There
sorry.
it is.
My time. I got the hook.
My God. Well, Julia, we so appreciate you for coming on the show with us today. This is some great information for us to be able to give some folks and for us to learn all this as well. Again, I love that I didn't know a good majority of this stuff. So exciting to see how we can implement it, what we can do, how we can assist, how we can help, how we can educate other people. But we appreciate you and everything you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for listening. Another episode of the Willamette Block Party. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
What do I do now? Nothing. Do I just hang up?
That's it.
You're just hanging out.
Okay. Okay, bye.